This week, we are coming out with 3 interesting webinars. The first webinar is the art of building wealth slowly and surely, where we discuss the how to build your wealth in a structured manner. The second webinar is navigating the 50% US tariff, where we discuss the immediate effort and the steps taken by Indian government to overcome this. And the third webinar is the financial freedom before 40. Is it a myth or possible? Where we discuss the financial plan to be made to get into financial freedom. To join the above webinar, click the link below in the description.
Sell advice counts now. A lot of people have been driven only to seek what to buy as advice. Buy side advice is what people want. Nobody wants to take any advice on selling. This has been the trend for quite some time. So much so that if there is a correction, people don't panic to sell, they panic to buy. So every dip gets bought simply because there are lakhs of people looking for advice on what to buy. I see a trend where those who generally like to give advice, those who like to sound very clever in the eyes of their peers, are very reluctant to tell what to sell. Their thinking is also conditioned to only look at what will excite their followers. Effectively, even those who know that something can be sold or should be sold are conditioning themselves to not talk about that and only talk about what can be bought because everybody wants to only know that from them. Typically, this is the state of mind in the advisory equation. Both the recipient and the giver are only talking about what to buy. This is again reflected in the institutional behavior where money is only going into buying, nobody is selling anything. And this is more marked in companies with smaller market cap. As the market cap goes lower and lower, the willingness to sell is lower and lower because people think that if I sell, I can never buy this back. What if I sell now and the price goes up more? After all, there aren't many sellers. Who will sell this stock? So if I provide supply, once my supply is exhausted, somebody else will buy and the market may not be adequately supplied and the price will go up and I will look silly in my own eyes. This is the thought process. But everything has a shelf life. Erratic behavior, particularly so. What we are seeing on the buy side is erratic behavior and there is a shelf life for such behavior, and once that shelf life is exhausted, you will see that behavior slowly wane. It will wane gradually only. And then at some point, it will start declining or changing very fast. So you think, yeah, people are selling, but it will change after 2 weeks. You will start looking for supporting levels in the market, but when the trend decisively changes, the supports will get broken. So what an investor needs now is to know what to sell. I'm not saying you should sell your whole portfolio, that is not the intent of this video, but what needs to be sold must be sold. That is not discretionary because valuations can run up so much that if you miss that opportunity or window, you're not going to get it back in years. Investors must condition themselves to thinking what to sell. The conditioning to think is the first step. Then you need to identify clearly what you need to sell. And once you identify what you need to sell, you must mentally bring yourself around to actually selling. So there are 3 parts which you need to accomplish. So seeking the right advice to sell is only the first part. But I see people are not willing to even do that. So as an investor responsible for your own well-being, you need to take that lead. You need to take that step forward and go to the right people to ask what to sell, and then you need to do a lot of preparation before you actually accomplish what is your rightful responsibility. These are very interesting times, these are very happy times, but these are also going to be very challenging times, because changing your focus, changing your priorities, and then acting within reasonable time before it's too late is never easy. I hope you do, and I want to thank you for watching this video.